In the beginning, there was chaos, an endless, silent abyss where time and space intertwined. But from this primordial void emerged something extraordinary. Today, we dive into the heart of Japanese mythology, where gods and creatures beyond imagination took their first breath.
So, it all started from nothing?
Exactly, Olivia. From nothing came everything. The universe was born from a celestial egg, and with it, the first deity, Kunitake, emerged. He was soon joined by others, and together, they began shaping the cosmos.
I can't even begin to imagine that. What came next?
Next came the divine siblings, Izanagi and Izanami, tasked with creating the first land. Standing on the floating bridge of heaven, they stirred the ocean with a jeweled spear, and from the brine, an island was born.
Talk about a powerful stir.
Indeed, and on that island, they built a pillar and a palace. There, they performed a sacred dance, and from their union, the many islands of Japan were formed.
A dance that creates islands? That's one potent tango.
Oh, it was more than just a dance. It was a ritual that brought forth mountains, rivers, and gods. But not all was well. Their first child was not perfect, and Izanami's fate was tragic.
That sounds ominous. What happened?
We'll get to that, but for now, let's marvel at the dawn of creation, where the world was a canvas for the gods, and every stroke of their divine will brought forth new life.
It's like a cosmic symphony, with each note birthing a new piece of the universe.
Precisely, and this symphony was just the beginning. The tales that follow are filled with passion, betrayal, and the eternal quest for balance.
I'm hooked. What's the next chapter in this epic saga?
Next, we explore the descent into the underworld and the birth of the sun goddess. But that's a story for another time. For now, let's take a moment to ponder the mysteries of creation. As the lands above thrived, a tale of sorrow unfolded beneath. Izanami, after giving birth to the fire god, found herself on the brink of death. In her final moments, she descended into Yomi, the shadowy land of the dead.
That's tragic. Did Izanagi follow her?
Driven by love and grief, Izanagi ventured into the depths of Yomi in search of his beloved. But what he found was a realm where no living being should tread.
It sounds like a place of nightmares.
It was, Olivia, a land cloaked in perpetual twilight, where the dead roamed aimlessly. Izanagi, undeterred, pressed on until he finally reunited with Izanami.
Was it a happy reunion, at least?
Far from it. Izanami had consumed the food of the underworld, binding her to Yomi forever. She was no longer the goddess he knew, but a being consumed by the darkness.
How heart-wrenching. What did Izanagi do?
In a desperate plea, he begged her to return with him, but the laws of Yomi are absolute. Once entered, one cannot simply walk out.
So, there was no hope for them?
Hope lingered until Izanagi broke the cardinal rule of Yomi. He lit a torch to gaze upon his wife's face. The sight that met him was horrifying. Izanami's once divine form was now a decaying corpse.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
The shock was too great. Izanagi fled, with a horde of vengeful spirits at his heels. He sealed the entrance to Yomi with a massive boulder, forever separating the world of the living from the dead.
Such a powerful story of love and loss.
Indeed, but from this loss, a new beginning emerged. Izanagi's grief gave birth to the sun goddess Amaterasu, and with her, the dawn of hope.
The cycle of life and death, it's all so poetic.
It is, and it's a reminder that even in the darkest of times, light can emerge. Next time, we'll explore how Amaterasu brought warmth to the world and the challenges she faced. With the world still reeling from the separation of life and death, a new deity emerged to cast away the shadows. Amaterasu, the goddess of the sun, whose very presence was a beacon of hope.
A goddess of the sun? That must have been a sight to behold.
More than just a sight, Olivia. She brought life-giving warmth and light to the world. Her radiance reached into every corner, banishing the darkness and nurturing the lands.
She sounds like a true force of nature.
Indeed, she was. But her journey was not without strife. Her brother, Susanoo, the storm god, was envious of her position and sought to challenge her authority.
Sibling rivalry at its finest, huh?
You could say that. Their conflict was, let's just say, it was intense. Susanoo, in a fit of rage, wreaked havoc across the lands, causing storms and destruction.
What did Amaterasu do?
In her wisdom, Amaterasu chose to retreat into a cave, plunging the world into darkness. It was her way of showing the importance of her light.
A bold move. Did it work?
It did more than just work. The other gods, realizing the chaos without her, devised a plan. They threw a party outside her cave and sparked her curiosity with laughter and joyous music.
A party to bring back the sun? That's one way to solve a problem.
And solve it they did. When Amaterasu peeked out, they held up a mirror. She saw her own brilliance and couldn't resist stepping out, thus returning light to the world.
Clever, using her own light to lure her out.
Exactly. And with her return, balance was restored. But the story doesn't end there. Amaterasu's legacy is a testament to resilience and the enduring power of light over darkness.
She's like the dawn after a long night. I love it.
Her spirit is woven into the fabric of Japan, symbolizing hope and renewal. Next, we'll delve into the tales of her descendants and the legendary heroes of this rich mythology. Our journey through Japanese mythology brings us to the Age of Heroes, where divine lineage and human courage intertwine to weave tales of valor and adventure.
Divine lineage? Are we talking about gods and mortals?
Precisely. It's a time when the descendants of Amaterasu walked among us, shaping the destiny of Japan. One such hero was Jimmu, believed to be a direct descendant of the sun goddess herself.
A hero born from the sun? That's quite the heritage.
Indeed. Jimmu's story is one of conquest and unification. With divine favor and a legendary sword, he embarked on a quest to establish a kingdom that would stand the test of time.
And did he succeed?
After many trials and battles, he did. Jimmu became the first emperor of Japan, marking the beginning of a continuous monarchy that, according to legend, lasts to this day.
That's an epic legacy. What about other heroes?
Another figure of legend is Yamato Takeru, known for his bravery and tragic fate. Gifted with a magical sword by his aunt, the sun goddess, he faced monsters and gods, proving his mettle.
Magical swords and monsters? This is like the stories I grew up with.
The parallels to our own myths are striking, aren't they? Yamato Takeru's adventures reflect the struggles we all face, the inner demons we battle, and the strength we find within.
It's inspiring, really, how one person's courage can change the world.
Absolutely. These heroes remind us that we all have the potential for greatness, that our actions can ripple through time and become the myths of tomorrow.
I can't wait to hear more. What's next in our saga?
Next, we delve into the mystical creatures of Japanese folklore, beings that embody the wonders and fears of an ancient world. Beyond the realm of gods and heroes lies a world teeming with creatures of wonder and terror. The yokai, spirits and demons of Japanese folklore, inhabit this mystical plane.
Yokai? They're like the monsters and spirits in our stories, right?
Exactly. They range from mischievous to malevolent, each with their own tales that have been passed down through generations. Let's start with the Kappa, a water creature known for challenging humans to sumo wrestling.
A sumo wrestling water sprite? That's oddly specific.
It is. And despite their playful nature, Kappas can be quite dangerous. But they have a weakness, the water in the dish on their head. If it spills, they lose their power.
So, if I ever meet one, just knock the water off its head. Got it.
Another fascinating yokai is the Tengu, often depicted with a long nose and the ability to fly. They're known as protectors of the forests and can be either benevolent guides or fierce adversaries.
Forest guardians with a flair for the dramatic, huh?
Indeed. And let's not forget the Yuki-onna, the snow woman. She's a hauntingly beautiful spirit who appears in snowstorms and leads travelers astray.
Yikes. Remind me to stay indoors during a snowstorm.
Wise choice. But yokai aren't all doom and gloom. The Tanuki, for instance, is a shape-shifting raccoon dog known for its playful tricks and a belly that can serve as a drum.
A drum belly raccoon dog? Now that's a party animal.
Absolutely. The yokai embody the balance of nature, the good, the bad, and the peculiar. They remind us that the world is full of mysteries waiting to be explored.
It's incredible how these stories capture the imagination. They make you wonder what's really out there.
And that's the beauty of mythology. It opens doors to worlds we never knew existed. Next, we'll venture into the sacred rituals and festivals that celebrate these beings. The tapestry of Japanese mythology is vibrant and alive, not just in stories, but in the very fabric of daily life. Sacred rituals and festivals celebrate the pantheon of gods and the myriad of yokai that dance in the shadows.
So, these myths aren't just old tales? They're a part of modern life?
Absolutely. Take the Gion Matsuri, for instance. It's one of Japan's most famous festivals, where the streets come alive with floats and traditional music, honoring the gods to ward off plagues.
A celebration with a purpose then. What about rituals?
Rituals like the Kagura dance are performed at shrines, believed to entertain the gods and receive their blessings. The dancers wear elaborate costumes, and their movements tell stories of creation, love, and heroism.
It's like they're keeping the myths alive through dance.
Exactly. And there's the Obon Festival, a time to honor ancestral spirits. Lanterns are lit, and offerings are made, guiding the spirits back to the afterlife.
That sounds beautiful. And a little eerie.
It's a poignant reminder of the thin veil between our world and the spiritual realm. But not all festivals are solemn. The Setsubun, for example, is a lively event where people throw beans to chase away evil spirits, shouting demons out, luck in.
Beans against demons? Now that's a battle strategy.
It's a tradition that embodies the playful side of these myths. And let's not forget the Tanabata, where people write wishes on colorful strips of paper, hoping the deities will grant them.
I'd have a long list of wishes for that one.
Who wouldn't? These rituals and festivals are a testament to the enduring legacy of Japanese mythology. They bridge the past and present, inviting us to partake in the magic.
It's amazing how these stories shape traditions and bring communities together.
Indeed, they're a celebration of culture, history, and the human spirit. Next, we'll explore how these myths have influenced art and literature throughout the ages. The echoes of ancient myths are not confined to rituals and festivals. They reverberate through the halls of art and literature, shaping Japan's cultural identity.
Art and literature, too? How do these stories influence them?
Profoundly. The classic works of ukiyo-e, woodblock prints, often depict scenes from mythology, capturing the essence of these tales in vibrant colors and dramatic compositions.
So, it's like they're painting the stories?
Exactly. And it's not just visual arts. The literary world is rich with references to gods and yokai. Take the Kojiki and Nihon Shoki, Japan's oldest chronicles, which are essentially a collection of these myths.
Ancient texts as a source of inspiration, huh?
They're more than that. They're the foundation of Japanese literature, influencing countless poets, playwrights, and authors. Murasaki Shikibu's The Tale of Genji, for example, is steeped in the supernatural elements of these myths.
I've heard of The Tale of Genji. It's considered the world's first novel, right?
Indeed, it is. And its influence can be seen in modern manga and anime, where elements of mythology are woven into contemporary narratives, creating a tapestry that links the ancient past to the present.
That's incredible. It's like the myths are alive, evolving with time.
Precisely. They adapt, grow, and find new expressions. Even today's video games, like Shin Megami Tensei and Okami, draw heavily from these legends, introducing them to new generations.
It's amazing how these old stories can be so relevant today.
They're timeless, Olivia. They speak to universal themes of heroism, adventure, and the human condition. Next, we'll see how these myths continue to shape modern society and our understanding of the world. As we reach the end of our journey, it's clear that Japanese mythology is not a relic of the past, but a living legacy that continues to shape the heart and soul of Japan.
It's fascinating how these stories are woven into the very fabric of society.
They are, from the ancient rituals that honor the kami to the modern-day interpretations in media and technology. These myths remind us of our shared humanity and the timeless quest for meaning.
And they're still relevant, teaching us lessons about life, nature, and the human spirit.
Indeed. The characters may be gods or mythical creatures, but their struggles, their joys, and their sorrows are universally human. They teach us about resilience, respect for nature, and the importance of harmony.
I guess that's what makes them so powerful. They transcend time and culture.
Exactly. And as we've seen, these myths are not static. They evolve with society, finding new life in each retelling, whether through a festival, a painting, or even a YouTube video like ours.
It's like we're part of the myth-making process right now.
That's right. By sharing these stories, we contribute to their legacy, ensuring that the wisdom of the past continues to enlighten our future.
It's been an incredible journey. I feel like I've traveled through time and space.
And that's the magic of storytelling. It has the power to transport us, to inspire us, and to connect us with the great tapestry of human experience.
Thank you, Noah, for guiding us through these enchanting tales. I can't wait to see where our next adventure takes us.
The pleasure is all mine, Olivia. Until next time, may the stories of old light our path and remind us of the endless possibilities that await.